Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm Melinda Sigel. I am your MC today, and I want to welcome you to 1 Million Cups. Please log in our app. Download the app at the App Store or Google Play Store. And we get credit as an organization as we sign in, and you can use it later to network. Next slide, please. 1 Million Cups is about entrepreneurship, community, and education. Our mission is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for all types of new and aspiring entrepreneurs throughout the United States. Key pillars are presentation, not pitches, which is really important, authentic connections, not networking, and run the community by the community. Our culture, it's safe and supportive. It's all volunteer led, comprehensive for organizers, presenters, and attendees. And we advocate presenter pipeline together as a community. Our weekly event brings together entrepreneurs and Fairfax County community over coffee and conversations. We meet in 160 chapters nationally at the same time, and we're a mastermind group. We don't do any sharpshooting, and we're very safe and supportive. And I've got to let somebody in. Next slide, please. I missed one, I'm sorry. We ask that you please go to our Facebook page and share Facebook Live. Our URL is 1 Million Cups Fairfax, and we have Facebook and LinkedIn. Please provide feedback in our Zoom chat and share content online. We are here to help. We've got Donnell Johns, Jen Dalton, Tony Bennett, Myosha Mendes, John Yu, John Ruttenberg, Ronetta Jones, Justin Wilson, Russ McIntosh, and myself, Melinda Sigel. Our sponsors today are Office Evolution and CCC Solutions. I believe that Sylvia, you're going to tell us more about Office Evolutions today.
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sylvia Ferguson, and I'm the Business Center Manager of Office Evolution here in Tyson's Corner. Office Evolution is a franchise, and we have over 80 locations nationwide. We provide affordable office space, conference rooms, shared workspace, virtual services such as a professional business address and phone service. So if you're an entrepreneur, student, or a small business owner and you need office space, just reach out to me. I put my information in the chat, and I would love to meet you, give you a tour, and have a cup of coffee. So again, thank you so much. My name is Sylvia, and I am looking forward to meeting you.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you.
We have John Ruttenberg, who is going to talk to us about CCC Solutions.
Hey, good morning. I'm raising my cup of coffee. My name is John Ruttenberg, cccsolutions.com. Our clients manage their clients, their prospects, and their referral sources using our contact management strategies and customer relationship management software, CRM software, reducing follow-up fatigue. The acronym FUF, FUF. If you yell it out 3 times, it will release endorphins and you will smile. Follow-up fatigue gets in the way of you closing your next sale. Fuff, fuff, fuff. John Ruttenberg, cccsolutions.com. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Fuff, fuff, fuff. Next slide, please. How we run our meetings. John Yu today is our moderator, so he will be facilitating our conversation with our speaker. Please make sure your mic is on mute. And when you ask questions, you put your mic back on and you can talk. And then when you're done, please mute it again. Use the hand wave sign or icon in chat to announce to John that you have a question, or send him a direct message in chat. When the moderator says your name, please unmute, or the other way to do it is you can hold the shift key down while you're talking. Say your name first and who you are with, and then ask your question or make a comment. Please put the mic back on again after you're done. And we want to get as many people in, so please keep your time with the speaker a little bit limited, maybe less than a minute. And thank you for that. Great, next slide. Today's speaker is Marnie Miller from Arbonne. She's a health and wellness professional. Arbonne is a 40-year-old online health and wellness company that is based on a holistic approach and using the best plant-based ingredients. Welcome, Marnie.
Thank you. So I've yelled out my fuffs. I think I'm ready. And I want to, before I do anything, thank Jen for kind of mentoring me through this process. You were fantastic, super helpful. So definitely gave me the support that I needed to be prepared. So for anyone else thinking of doing a presentation, they really hold your hand and walk you through this. So definitely go for it. So I'll start off. As an Arbonne consultant, I own a virtual health and wellness company. Our brand aligns with what people are looking for ethically and environmentally, and the company is growing astronomically. So what I'm asking for from this group is to help me brainstorm, how do I grow and diversify my organization domestically and globally? Next slide. Little bit about me. We'll make this quick because that's not what this is about, but just so you understand my background. I was always an athlete, and I completed my master's in physical therapy and became a certified athletic trainer in 1999 at Emory University in Atlanta. 18 years later, I began my Arbonne business. Initially, it was done as a need to support my daughter's education. I then recently, in the last year, became a group fitness coach in order to continue to surround myself with people that are interested in bettering themselves. In the next year, my goal is to quadruple the size of my team and the volume that we are selling. Next slide. With so many options in the workforce, again, I had this financial need. Why did I land on Arbonne? So we'll start with my background. Again, I was an athlete. I was a semi-pro and college soccer player. Fitness, sports, and health drove me to an industry that valued people having the opportunity to make healthy choices. In addition to my family commitments, they demanded that I needed freedom and choices in my scheduling. Arbonne's holistic approach and product choice appealed to my fitness background, and the business opportunity and compensation plan met my scheduling and financial needs. So as an Arbonne consultant with my background, I'm able to address a number of really important areas in people's life. First, next slide, is an additional income stream. This is something that's widely recognized by leaders in business, including people like Warren Buffett, as a way to financial success. At least 36% of US workers are involved in the gig economy, with most people using social media to stay informed and find solutions. 92% of consumers trust recommendations from people they know. Next, people are starting to care about health and wellness. It's a $4.2 trillion business. Finally, fitness. The combination of having an amazing nutrition program, along with the workout advice and opportunities that I'm able to provide to members of my team, really completes a full package. So a company that provides healthy products and additional income source that's based on the internet, using word of mouth marketing, really solves a lot of problems. So who benefits from Arbonne? Arbonne is a benefit to anyone who wants a healthier life, anyone who cares about the planet thanks to our B Corp status, anyone with gluten sensitivities. Thanks to our ingredient policy, and anyone who, and go ahead to the next one, Tony, please. Thanks to our ingredient policy and anyone who enjoys a supportive community. The majority of our clients are repeat customers, which when you work in sales is something you're definitely looking for, is having a consumable product. They truly range in age, gender, and location. There are many companies that take advantage of the gig economy. I'm sure you see some familiar logos on this slide. Here are some actual results from my team. Arbonne gave employee A, who's a member of my team, an opportunity to use her degree in environmental science as a new grad and a platform to share her passion with our planet and with her network. Her additional income is being used because she really wants to buy a tiny home. Employee B, you can guess that she's a younger person, and I just love watching her journey. Employee B was able to sell her home in this area, purchase her dream home at the beach, all while her husband had been laid off, thanks to having multiple income streams. And personally, I've been able to quit the job that was in a field I did not enjoy and have the time flexibility to pursue my passion for fitness while paying for my daughter to attend private school, along with vacations and other things. Arbonne has an amazing business model. It has many similarities to the corporate world and some important differences. We have annual meetings, we have new products, we have systems for onboarding and ongoing training, and an amazing back office. However, all of our employees are 1099s. Each employee has their own distinct world-class website and digital store. We do not have a cap on our earnings. We do not have to manage inventory or meet any sales requirement. Our business model is that we get paid on sales and the sales of our teammates. We do not get paid for recruiting teammates. That's what a pyramid scheme is. The beauty of this model compared to other gig economy models is our ability to scale our income exponentially based on our team sales. Next slide, sorry. I'm looking for people to grow my team that are influencers, high-level professionals from all generations, people who are looking for financial stability, an exit strategy to the corporate world, and people who are looking for choices. Arbonne does business in the United States, Canada, Poland, Australia, the UK, and New Zealand. So anyone in those areas is an opportunity. My current ways of marketing include asking people to gather their network and sharing the business opportunities in a short online meeting. I also have done 30-day to healthy living groups, breakfast club groups, and different social media outlets. And I'm looking to you for advice on how to continue or improve those marketing in order to diversify my team. So we'll go back to my challenge question of how do I grow and diversify my organization domestically and globally?
All right, great. Thank you, Marnie, for that fantastic presentation. We're now going to move to a more interactive and fun segment of our meeting. But before we get started, I'd like to go through some ground rules. So this is not a Shark Tank, as you can see. So please be nice and be respectful of one another. No one person will dominate the conversation. And so if you have feedback for the speaker or some suggestions or questions, please raise your hand by clicking the hand icon, or you can chat it in. You can feel free to chat it in to everyone, your questions, so we get as many questions or comments as possible. And when I call on you, please state your name and your business. So with that, who would like to go first? Right, so just the challenge question, just to remind everybody, how do I grow and diversify my organization domestically and globally? So Melinda, you raise your hand first, so go ahead, please.
One of the things I thought of is right now, these are very challenging times. And I'm going to guess that more than half the world has gained weight during these times because they have to stay home and isolate. Have you thought of putting some kind of program together to get everybody moving and helping them take off some of these pounds?
Linda, great question. Thank you. Yes, obviously, a lot of us are struggling being indoors so much. And I will say that no company, I don't think, can ethically say that they offer a true weight loss plan. However, we do have a 30-day to healthy living program that a lot of people have taken advantage of. It existed prior to COVID, and thankfully it's becoming more available. Yeah, more people are taking advantage of it during this time. But that program is the one that would be geared towards people who are looking for a healthier solution right now.
What about partnerships with local gyms and other types of partners that might be a natural fit, like massage therapists and other people in the health arena?
I love that. I just wrote that down. I think that's a great idea. It's definitely something I can work for. If you have any suggestions on specifically how to, specific people, I'd love to, have some follow-up conversation with that. If you know anyone that I can, versus doing a cold call, I'd love to be able to do that.
Okay, thank you. Next is Eddie, and after that, Lisa.
Marnie, hi, good morning. Congratulations on your business. I looked at the Arbonne site and I see that, there's several different product lines, if I'm using the right term. Is there one of those verticals that does better, that works most well, that you are more keen on?
Thank you, Eddie, for taking the time to look at the site. I appreciate that. So, I mean, I love all the products, right? So that's why if I didn't believe in the products, I wouldn't be doing it as a business. But I will say, well, I'll answer that two ways, and I'll try and answer it quickly. One of the things I love about Arbonne is that it's healthy living from the inside and out. I believe strongly that nutrition has to come first. If you'll see the biggest bang for your buck if you change your gut health, because it affects your skin, it affects so many other things. With that said, I also think Arbonne's best product is the business, and that's really what I'm most focused on, is sharing the business opportunity with people. So I'm not sure when you look at the website if that's as obvious versus the products, because we do have quite a variety of products, and they're fantastic. But what I love most is people understanding that by sharing those products, they can earn an income.
All right, great. Next is Lisa, and after that is Jen Dalton.
Lisa, you're on mute. I can jump in while we wait for Lisa. So Marnie, just a quick question from a recruiting standpoint. Where have you found your current sort of team so far? And have you looked at crafting a job description of, exactly the characteristics and the details around who you're looking for? So even if you were to, market a traditional way, that, you can very clearly explain, what you're looking for your team.
Interesting. So great question. I'll go backwards. No, I have not crafted a job description, but that's a great project for me to work through. I think that would really help hone things down. To go back to the first question, my team really, truly, I have an 18-year-old and a 75-year-old. I have, right now, I only have women on my team, which is something that I really want to work on, the diversification, and have men. And I right now only have US based. And that's another thing that I really want to work on, is become more global. But how I got them has all been through word of mouth from other people who have tried the products. They tried the products because they were referred by other clients, and they decided that they loved them enough. They knew they would share them. And so they turned that into a business.
Great, great, thank you. Lisa, did you have comment or question? All right, that will move on. So next is Tony, and then after that would be Deb.
Okay. Marnie, wonderful presentation, great job. Glad to see the smiles. Quick question for you. With everything going on economically right now, the kids in high school and college have very limited employment opportunities. The restaurants are all closed. A lot of the grocery stores are all filled up, and they're trying to find work anywhere they can. Through your path with your daughters into both the colleges and the high schools, do you have the ability to try and put out, advertise for jobs, saying here's a commission only job, but you can learn sales and you can start a coaching organization for those kids? Because that'll get them on a good start. Your background in athletics and coaching would help you at least reaching out to the kids who are in the athletics department, who basically had the rug pulled out from under them the past year. And this is a chance for them to sit there and work from home and start to interact and be more social and work with their inner circle of friends and contacts to build the business for themselves. Have you already tried that or thought about doing it and hit any barriers?
So thank you. Those are great ideas. The one thing I will say that's a barrier is you have to be 18. So my high school daughter doesn't count. In that world, you have to be 18 to be in the business. However, my older daughter is a consultant. And her 18th birthday said, this is what I want to do. So that was exciting. With that said, I have not taken advantage of her college environment. It made me think she's on the powerlifting team. And that's a relatively small group, but they're all in a situation where they could easily take advantage of this because the products would be perfect for them and they could be great representatives of that. So that's a great idea that I hadn't worked through yet. So I'm definitely going to take note of that.
Okay, point. Dr. Deb? You have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Deb Cohen, management consultant. So Marnie, one of the questions earlier about the job description was great, and I wanted to sort of piggyback on that. Can you talk a little bit about what is it that this person or persons would be doing, and what are the differences? So you mentioned somebody who's 75 versus somebody who's 18. Put age aside, and even put gender aside, although I suspect your target market, given the products, is probably more female than male. But what is it that this person, in order to grow your business, people have to know what it is they're going to have to do. So if they're selling, is it sort of sky's the limit in terms of how they sell? Are you going to give them a territory? Are you going to give them some expectation in terms of you have to hold a show in order to sell it? You go online. What's the range of things that somebody will be doing? Because in order to help you think about how to grow, we need to know a little bit more about what is it that the person's going to be doing. What's the range?
Got it. Great question. I can answer most of that. So, and I will just do a little plug that I would stay gender blind. Our nutrition is by far our biggest product, and that is very gender neutral. So we have a nutrition and sports line that are just phenomenal. So, and there are many men in this company. I personally don't have men on my team, but there are many men in the company. So with that said, the expectation, there are no, I think it was said in there, there's no minimum sales requirements. The way that people share this business has to be authentic to them. So the way that my 18-year-old consultant shares is obviously a little bit different than the way my 75-year-old does, but it's truly that it's sharing. Generally, we say 1 to 2 hours a day of focused time on your business. And it's whether it's social media sharing or phone calls or texting, email. It's generally it's using your phone and sharing it that way. So just like you would share a movie or a restaurant that you enjoy, you would share products that you use that you enjoy, and you just get paid on doing that. But the majority of people do that using their cell phone. Like I said, either texting or social media.
Okay, so the compensation is completely commission based?
Exactly. It's 100% commission based. Exactly.
And are there differences in the amount of share by product? So do you get more for nutrition versus skincare, or is it the same, percentage across the board?
It's the same percentage regardless of the product.
And what does the organization provide people in terms of their own toolkit? So do they get samples? Do they have to buy samples? So somebody who's starting, what's their investment?
So it's $49 to start your business. That gives you your website. It gives you the opportunity to earn income. That does not give you any product. I personally recommend that you need to try it before you share it. I don't think you can share something you haven't tried, but you need to try things that you're going to like and use. So there is no mandatory in terms of what you buy. Some people are more interested in skincare. Some people are more interested in nutrition. So they buy what they're going to use, and then they share it. So and as a member of the business, you get a discount on your purchases. Does that help?
Right.
Yeah, I guess my point is that if you want to grow your business, you've got to be sharing this information in a very organized way to people who are potential, not employees, but potential associates to you. So I think somebody, before they, get into this, it's obviously not a huge investment, but they're going to want to know more about, so how am I going to do this? And are you going to help me? So now I become a consultant and I'm going to go out to my network. I'm going to use my phone and I'm going to do that. But how are you going to help me in terms of growing my own portion of this business?
Thank you. No, I think that's great. And I obviously didn't do a great job explaining that, but we do have a full onboarding process for sure. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Deb. So I have actually a quick question, and that is, there are organizations or nonprofit organizations that help people in career transition, or people. The one that I'm thinking of is there's at McLean Bible, there's Career Network Ministry or Career Confidence in this area. Just kind of curious if you reach out to them and to see you'll find people that are looking for either career transition in a different career or looking for a job.
John, thank you. That's a great idea. And no, I have not. And I'm not familiar with any of those and don't have connections with those. So that would be fantastic. I would love to have any of those connections that you might have, because that's an area that I have not approached.
Absolutely. We'll share that information to you. Just looking at the chat here, Jen Dalton, you have a question here.
Well, I would think of it from a marketing campaign. There's a campaign, potentially a video campaign, Marnie, where you can include what is it about you as the owner and coach of the team that you bring uniquely, and how do you onboard people? How do you train them and set them up for success? I think there's a piece around what they learn over time, and also one where maybe you feature team members and ask them what they like about it, right? And highlight your employees. So just like I think of a company highlighting their employees, testimonials. Melinda had a great idea, Marnie, around doing a weekly Zoom call, but maybe it's a Facebook Live where you interview your team and you talk about sales, or you talk about, interpersonal skills, or how did you reach out, but share those techniques and build the brand of you and the team in a unique way that works for everybody, so you stand out and are differentiated.
Awesome. I love that. And just to make sure I'm clear, what are you suggesting, a series? So, picking a small topic and doing a series of those. Okay.
I think there's probably 3 targeted campaigns. There's a video campaign you run on some type of consistent basis. There's a social media graphics and content where you get quotes from your team or you share quotes on what you teach people. And then there's some type of interactive, as Melinda was suggesting, like a Facebook Live or a Zoom once a week or on some cadence where you talk about the products, what's working, or you interview the team, but something to make it engaging and get the word out about what it's like to work as a team with you in your space. Because you bring a lot of fitness expertise too, right? So blending your brand and the team and Arbonne brand, I think is important.
Awesome. I love that idea. Thank you.
Okay, bunch of hand has been raised. I think the brain cells are just now kicking in. So let me go to John Foster, and then Eddie, and then Tony, in that order.
Thank you, John. Hey, Marnie, good to see you.
Hi, John.
So I don't know if we missed the connection, but so I thought we met through LinkedIn, but whatever. So I'm associated with Career Network. I've been there for 10 years. And one of the things that I think Jen was talking about, which I think would be an interesting idea, is one of the things that people are looking for are transferable skills. And so by, going back to the training idea, is what you potentially can offer are, the development of those transferable skills, which can be used in, your organization, but also they also have the ability to take those other places as well. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I like, that's a great value add. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, next is Eddie, and then Tony, and our own John Wittenberg.
Jen, tagging a little bit on what Jen Dalton said, in terms of focusing on your team, I thought a decent suggestion would be to consider or focus on one type of team, meaning to say, or to expand on that, several of your products are skincare or health and wellness products, right? So let's say you targeted, the place where women go to get their nails done or face done. I forget what that's called right now, right? But let's say you target those business owners, right? If you targeted the business owner, each of those business owners comes to you or brings to you a certain level of skills, a certain skill set. They run similar types of businesses, and they have customers who come in their door every single day. So if you target the business owner, they have customers. You're focusing on training and highlighting each individual business owner. It kind of gives you a focused vertical that you could work on to grow your business. Thank you.
No, great idea. We just had a hairstylist join our team, and that makes me think of that. So, between hair salons and nail salons and gyms that was mentioned before, I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. Tony, and then John Wittenberg.
Okay, Marnie. All right. So everybody, in all honesty, yes, I'm one of Marnie's customers. A thought that occurred to me is, and I appreciate Marnie's wonderful job following me up. She checks in with me every couple of weeks, asks me if I need anything, how I'm doing, stuff like that. My thought was, why don't you set up monthly? Because I think a lot of people probably order on a monthly basis. You might correct me on that, but that seems to be, they buy a month's worth of supplies, and to fit into their budget or whatever. Start up a monthly meeting with all of your customers, where you invite them to a Zoom meeting or a Google Online or whatever you can budget in, and have a group sessions with everybody where basically you just have an open discussion with everybody about what they're doing, get to know each other, do a little networking where people meet, seeing that, oh, there are guys who are customers too, and stuff like that, and make it like more of a community event. My thought was kind of like a book club, where people can sit there and bring up, oh, I tried this. Has anybody else tried this? Oh, this was really good. I like that. Because now what you're doing, it's part of my philosophy is opening the communication lines and keeping things going between you and your customers on a holistic basis, where it doesn't seem like you're selling, but yeah, you really are. And through that, you can also process the recruiting thing by mentioning during the meeting, oh, by the way, if you or your kids or family members are interested in selling, next week I'm doing an introductory session on becoming a Arbonne specialist. And that way you kind of meet both, requirements. You're selling, you're sharing the information because people want to do what some people, others, like, I mean, you have a lot of stuff on the website that, when you and I were going through things, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I really need that or not. But if it's something everybody loves, yeah, why not? Give it a shot. And that way it helps spur your sales, but also helps you grow your network that way. And just set it up, same date each month. You send an invitation out, saying, hey, we're doing this online tonight, 8 o'clock for 30 or 45 minutes or whatever, and just work it that way. And that way it becomes a regular thing, and if people want to participate, they can. And you sign on, and 10 minutes later, you only have 2 people. All right, fine. You talk to 2 people, but then you might have a night where you'll have, 15, 20, or 30.
I love that. I mean, I feel so connected to each of my clients. I love the idea of them becoming a community. I think that's great. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I think the idea of community is fantastic. All right, so next is John Rudenberg.
Thank you, John, and good morning, everyone. Just to focus on your challenge question on scaling, and I wanted to go back to Eddie Lloyd made a great point about trying to focus in and target on an allied professional. The word is salon. Some of us, we go to haircutters, but other people go to salons, or physical therapists. And when as an allied professional who could potentially carry the product, because to scale and build what you want to do, it's finding teammates, as I understand your need. The other two, and of course we've talked, and it was a great presentation, Marnie. It was always great to be with you and see you, are teachers and federal agency employees. Because you do need some amount of time, and I think teachers might be a good model where they're already in a full-time job, but that has prescribed hours. And even though teachers have to grade at night and do work after 3 p.m., they often have a little more time. And I just think government agency employees, if you find a group, and possibly in LinkedIn, to become involved, you may find a community that's completely different than your own, where having a second income is a very good, attractive, compelling story for people.
Love that. Teachers historically do very well with Arbonne because they're all about helping people. So so that's great. Any access to a group of teachers would be very much appreciated. But LinkedIn is definitely something I've underutilized. And John Foster, maybe you can help me with this because I definitely need to make use of LinkedIn better. I think that's a great idea regarding the federal agencies of a way to find a group that would be open and interested in this. So thank you.
All right, great, John. Just reading through some chatted in comments or questions. I see one from Melinda. Thank you, Appreciation Day, where you reward customers that have referred business, but invite all customers, make it a Zoom call. You can also email them samples to bring to Zoom event. Melinda, do you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I like the idea of identifying communities. And if you had it, your natural community is the healthcare industry, but maybe something like communities that people work outdoors, like mail carriers or people that do lawns or shovel snow. I mean, your skin really needs moisturizers when you're outdoors a lot. Lifeguards, maybe the community lifeguards in the different communities, giving them a little thank you for your service and giving them something like that, maybe getting their associations, homeowner associations to come up with some money for a really nice skincare package of things that they could use and to protect them, things like that.
Great ideas. Yeah, I'm writing this all down. Thank you.
I think Jen Dalton is doing a fantastic job summarizing everyone's feedback here. So thanks, Jen.
Very grateful.
I
I'm
have-
making scratch notes that I'm hoping to read. So I'm very grateful that Jen's doing this.
Marnie, how you doing?
I'm great, Donnell.
I love what you do, and I love how you do it. Thank you for supporting people's health and wellness. We talked about this before, but I'm just going to remind you of a couple of things that we talked about. Oftentimes when people are selling something that they love, they forget about the people that are right in front of them.
Mm.
What I mean by that is exactly what Tony said, is those people that are already in your network that are enjoying your products. There are built-in testimonies, especially now. You can either have them write something, and then you could put their picture and then a quote on what they said and share it with the community, because that person is attached to other people, which will bring you other people.
Great idea. Love the idea of testimonials.
And so get those testimonies. Think of it as far as health, wealth, and self. So people's personal health is very important. Without health, you can't do anything. The next part of the three-legged stool is wealth, which is something that you can help provide them. If they are healthy and are ecstatic about their health, they can actually make money getting it, using this program. And then the self piece is, how does it mentally make you feel? And share those stories with those people within your network. And so you really have to look at this thing a little bit more closely at the people in your network. The other thing that I want to remind you of is have a consistent sales process. Consistent, predictable actions yield consistent, predictable results. If you don't have a sales process, which means that you invite them to a meeting, that meeting will take them to the next step, which will take them to the next step. You'll be doing these things one-off and you'll be forgetting a process. So create a process for yourself and show people how they can become a part of your network by having a process that they can fit into.
Got that. Yeah. Thank you. Those are great reminders. And I think the first thing you said is hone in on what's right in front of you. And I think even for myself, not even my clients, I sometimes there's things that I know in my head, but they're not clear to, I haven't clearly laid them out to other people. So that's a great reminder to do that. So thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem. Continue to do what you do and then have fun doing it. Don't be afraid to tell people about your product. If you look at your email, none of these other organizations have a problem doing it. They don't have a problem putting their something that they believe in your face over and over and over again. So don't be afraid to tell your story.
Got it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Thanks, Anel. Quick time check. 9:40. We're 9:43. Do we have time for maybe one or two more questions?
John Rimberg is dying to ask another question.
All right,
Yeah,
John.
because I knew there was an extra 2 minutes and I wanted Marnie to fill it. So I didn't hear a quantitative measure on what your growth in teammates mean. But let's just say for a moment you'd like to add 4 new teammates in the current year.
Mhm.
So I think you should write that down and post it on your bulletin board next to people have bulletin boards, but next to your desk in front of you, so that you see that goal every day. And that you need to work on that because you heard great ideas today. And as I was listening to Donnell speak about process, and I said, wait, what's your goal? A goal is a dream with a deadline. So 4 in a year is maybe possible. I don't really know enough, but by specifying that, and then, okay, now what are you going to do over the next 90 days to find your first 1 or 2? Because you got to get ahead of the curve.
Quantitative.
I would say that's my, I'll stop there
Mm.
just as a suggestion.
Thank you. I appreciate that, John. It wasn't in my background information, but I went to a science tech high school and I'm all about quantitative data. So I appreciate that. It's a great reminder. And I do have a bulletin board and I do keep track of a lot of quantitative data as I go. So that's a great one to add to the list. Thank you.
All right. I think our time is up. Marnie, thanks again for presenting and sharing your business. Jen did a fantastic job of summarizing all those feedbacks and comments that's been made. So that's great. So with that, let me turn it back over to you, Melinda.
Next slide, please.
I'm gonna ask her the
Oh, yeah,
final question.
Actually, Danelle, yeah, do the final question, please.
So Marnie, again, thank you for presenting, but we want to leave you with this. What can our 1 Million Cups community do for you?
Thank you. Jen's done so much and I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful for all the one-to-ones I've had in this group already. The last thing that I think I could ask is if you know someone that fits that criteria, those suggestions, I got so many amazing suggestions. And if you have individual connections, I'd love to have those.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. I'm going to turn it over to Melinda. Melinda, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Great presentation, Marnie. Next week, we've got F3 Wellness Connections, and they were founded in 2010, and they build connections and deliver wellness to residential and corporate clients through fitness programs, nutrition presentations, and lifestyle events on site virtually. And Marnie, that might be another good partner for you.
Absolutely.
Next slide, please. Thursday, February 25th, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's our 3rd anniversary and online celebration. We hope you can all be there, and we will be sending everybody a invitation with more details, and we will talk about it as we get a little bit closer. Next slide, please. Besides F3 Wellness, we've got the 17th open and the 24th open. So we are really looking for new presenters. If you know any entrepreneurs that may be stuck and have a challenge question, please have them apply. And if anybody in our crowd today has something that they may be stuck on in their business, good opportunity to get all of us to help you brainstorm many types of solutions. Next slide, please. Upcoming events. Russ, I know you're here. Do you want to share some of the ones that you posted up here?
Yeah, sure. Later on this afternoon, George Mason is having is hosting a virtual event with Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon fame. So that's really cool to check out this afternoon. You do have to RSVP for it. It's a free event, so I'm looking forward to doing that myself. And then coming up on Tuesday, February 9th, there's a lovely workshop that's going on that our Jen Dalton will be hosting, starring in Your Own Story. Jen, do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Sure, thanks, Russ. So we will be sharing storytelling tactics and how to leverage that, excuse me, in your business to grow visibility in an authentic and credible way. So join us. It'll be a great workshop. Frank and I will be tag teaming, and it should be lots of fun.
Does
Great.
anybody else have any events that they want to share? I'm posting one, and the one that I'm posting, it's a free networking event next Tuesday with a guest speaker by the name of Don Fawcett. And he's going to teach everybody how to connect with your authentic purpose, think, react, and lead. And I'll put that in the chat. Free Zoom meeting.
For our 3-year anniversary, I'm putting the link in chat, so we hope you get to join us. We'll send it out in our weekly email as well.
Great. Next slide, please. I want to thank everybody today for coming, and we will be hanging around after the meeting. If anybody has any questions.